This video chart presentation to EMKR Corp. It's a NASDAQ listed company trading our ticker EMKR. Going to wrap this week up with a double bottom play. EMKR's got strong support around $3.30. See, just a few weeks ago hit that level. Put together about a 30% bounce to hit highs of 424. Pulled right back down to that support. Started turning again on Thursday. Closed up 3.5%. Relatively thinly traded stock, only 215,000 shares traded. But volume can pick up in this play. That's the type of thing I'll be looking for again as it tries to move off the bottom. There's a big drop in the stock price as such the MACD fell apart, but given signs of finding a bottom, bullish cross a couple weeks ago, still trending back towards zero, which it still has a ways to go to move back through zero and truly go into bull mode. But this uptrend right here is an early on sign and supportive of the double bottom pattern. Also coming off a PPO ADX pinch. Generally that's a pretty reliable pattern for reversals in the chart. So all I look for at this point is PPO to continue to trend upward. The ADX has cooled off real quick with that bounce, and the positive and negative DIs are both in pretty neutral positions. All three components of that indicator pinned together at this point. Not getting much from the MFI. Ideally, I want to see it over top of 50. Still has a ways to go to get all three components trending on the upper half of that indicator. But in the longer term, that's what I look for. And most of this is going to be very early on because the stock did make the nice move, and that's why the spike happened in most indicators. But it came back down just as quickly. It's going to take some sustainable buying pressure, not just a one-day move like that, to have these indicators really go back into bullish trends. You can see by the accumulation distribution, no real upward movement yet, still trending down. Is perhaps flatlining at best, but again, that's because when that stock jumped all the way up to that $4 mark, it was a black candle that day, meaning that the stock gapped all the way up to here to start the day, and then pulled all the way back down to around 370 into the close. So there was a substantial amount of selling that happened on that day, even though there was a nice jump in stock price. These volume-based indicators didn't make a rotation because there wasn't enough accumulation that day. Selling was outweighing the buying. Jake and money flow, it's based upon the accumulation distribution. Again, just making the slightest move upward at this point. Still down in the red. Selling pressure has been outweighing buying pressure over the last 20 periods. CCI, it is making a pretty nice move. It's a little bit more of an optimistic sign from this indicator. Making higher lows. I want to see it up over top of zero, although the official buy signal doesn't come into play until it breaks through 100. Full stow holding a very low range. That just tells me that the momentum is basically bearish in the chart. Want to see it uptrending, breaking through 50 to show that bullish momentum is coming into the play. Now tricks, it's a lagging indicator of trend. Dropped a bullish cross, and much like the MACD, just watch for that trend back towards zero. RSIs did get a little bit of a turn with the stock closing up the last 2 days. Hate to rattle the same drum, but again, very bearish momentum in the play. Want to see all three components on the upper half of the indicator, similar to through here. We can see the share price appreciation when the relative strength index, a gauge of momentum, is holding above 50. So it's a true bottom play. In fact, a double bottom, that's why I like it. That support at 332 absolutely must stay intact for me. That would be a stop loss area. The indicators aren't showing great deals of strength and trend and momentum. So if it breaks down through that, there's no more support in sight, and the indicators aren't lending any strength. So it's hard telling where the chart could go if 332 falls. So that area must stay intact. Now to the upside, I do see a little bit of resistance. Right there where it kind of hit its head yesterday, had a high of 356. I'd say it's a secondary resistance point, but this chart doesn't meet a primary resistance until back up around $4.20. Now again, that's a real nice upside closing at 340 on Thursday. I suspect that's going to be a tough spot. I actually think if the move comes slower, it would probably pick up a little bit of resistance first and foremost, right around $4.10. This 50-day moving average is dynamic. It's coming down. It's going to continue to come down, and it's going to lend a resistance right through that area. But even as such, that's more than 20% move from Thursday's close. Importantly, I'm just trying to see if this is going to be identified as a true bottom for EMKR, and to see if this chart's going to try and trickle its way upward, start making some higher lows, and put together a stronger bullish channel in the coming days, weeks, and months. Pretty nice looking bottom play at this point, though, and one, in my opinion, worth keeping an eye on, see where it goes from here. But as always, merely my interpretation of the EMKR chart. Thank you for watching, and trade smart.